Hello everybody, this is Barbie. I'm here to do a flip through of my little wildflower journal I've been working on for a while. Anyhow, she's a pretty good sized little journal. Lengthwise, she's about 11 inches by 7 inches, and the spine is approximately 2 3/4 inches deep. There is approximately 120 pages, front and back, as well as 4 signatures that I sewed in with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I did a little snippet, fabric snippet, and put it all the way around. I've used vintage lace and vintage buttons. This is a piece of snippet I put along the spine to cover up my stitches. I used a piece of old quilt. It was a pillow sham actually, for the base of the journal. And this is how I've been able to hold her together. I put a button here and attached it to the snippet with a eyelet. And then the button here is sewed on through the whole journal, through the fabric and everything, so it's very secure. And then that is how you hold her together. Okay, I put some little dingle dangles on here I've been wanting to try. Used a Tim Holtz pin. I don't know what you call those little pins. Make sure I'm in frame here. So I've been moving her around. The little girl is a painting I did. It's called overpainting. And what you do is you take a print, whatever print you want to use. And I used acrylic, I believe, on this one. And you basically use the print or the photo, whatever the case may be, and you paint over the top of it. And so it's like the print becomes your drawing. Anyhow, it was a fun thing to do, but I've had her for a good while. And I had painted her on top of a technique that's where you use fabric and you use Venetian plaster as a base. And up here there was lace that was imprinted into the plaster, and that gave it a texture up here. And then I also put some lace on top of that lace. And there is new lace as well as vintage lace on here. Some crocheted bits here on the bottom, and as you can see, she's chunky. I put a lot of ribbon, crinkled ribbon, on everything. I've put all kinds of little dangles on there, and on the side there's all kinds. I've left room here so that I could put some different dangles on the side here on my tabs. So that was sort of my idea, and I like how she turned out. I think she turned out pretty. Okay, let me see if I can get up just a little higher. I can get her in all the way anyhow. I think it's probably good enough. Okay, this is just a little dangle that I put together, and it just has some different elements on it. A little heart that says love, a little pearl, and a little piece of something here, a little piece of metal that says grow on it. I also used I have a bunch of Swarovski crystals, and I used some of these little bitty baby, what we used to call baby pins. They were used on babies when I raised my babies, and so they're just little bitty pins. So I put the Swarovski crystals on those. Okay, in order to get her open, you just push down, and this releases the pressure on the button, and then the button of course stays on there. Okay, here we go. Make sure that when you open it up you can see it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I don't think I can get up any higher, so it's gonna have to be good. I'm afraid to move the whole thing. So looks pretty good. Alrighty. Okay. I wanted to make a pocket here on the front to give this a little bit more stability, number one, and also just to put a pocket on there. And I put little, I did a video on some little snippets that I was making out of small elements, and I spread those throughout the journal. This is a piece of, one of my pieces of printed canvas that I did and made it into an envelope with some seam binding on it. And so it's printed on both sides. And I designed this little print here through some Graphic Fairy digis, and I just put it together to give it a bit of a spring look and a wildflower look with the butterflies, etc. And I thought that turned out pretty cute. I liked it. Okay, and inside I just put a piece of an old letter, and this is a digital. I believe that's what that is. And on the back, it's one of chapter 1's digis, just a basic digi. That just goes in there like so, and I won't take time to stick it all together. I'll come back and fix it later. Okay, this is a beautiful kit called Among the Wildflowers, and that's by My Porch Prints, so you'll see those throughout. And most of them are so beautiful, I didn't do anything other. I put a little bee on there. I just like the prints just the way they are. And I printed all of these on a premium presentation paper, so they printed out with some pretty good bulk to them. Now these I printed on a lighter paper, and this is archive kits by Tracy Fox, and all of these type of things you see will be by Tracy Fox, her archive kit. Another one of my little snippets I did, and I put one of these little safety pins with the Swarovski crystals on almost every little place I could. Again, and you'll notice that the pages are all different sizes. This is something I had done on one of my other journals. I believe it was the Clutch journal, and I really liked how it came out because you can use you can stagger it, and it gives it interest because every page you can see the other page behind it, so it gives it more interest, and it also allows you then to make a longer journal out of just 8 by your regular size paper than you normally would. And also I put lace down here on I think it's a couple of pages in every signature to give it a bit of interest at the bottom. Okay, this is a pocket, corner pocket. Again, it was just some of the little journaling cards I made out of different digis, and one of My Porch Prints digis. Tim Holtz clip. It's one of the old photographs I had, and I just backed it with a postcard. Stuff out of my stash. Couldn't tell you who that is or where I got it from. Hope everybody is well. We're all good down here in Texas. Okay, this is an Angela Kerr envelope that I did, and these are also her digis. There's some lace doilies. So I put a little pocket down here at the bottom. It's sort of like hers, but not totally. You know how that goes. Just some little, this is one of my paintings, a little wren. I made it into a small area. Put some interest on here with some different collage I did with just some different things that I had. And this is a little envelope that I put lined it with some tea stained paper and made a little slit there. Hold it, and then it flips up like so. Oh, it's supposed to have something in here. I'll have to go back and get some tags and put in there. Yeah, has a little pocket there, which I use some. That's the way it goes, like that. And the pocket then is here. This is envelope part of it. And Sticks in like that. And then this is the other side of it. And again, it just has some different ephemera. I'm not going to take it all out in there. And I did that from one of my peel and stick things. And again, I just used some different pieces of stuff I had in my stash. A die cut. I don't know where that came from. Some different miscellaneous pieces. And that flips over like so. And on this side, I did a collage here on a little flap I made. And then this is out of some of my stash, and I believe that's a Farmerage. Yeah, it's called City Streets Farmerage. And lined it with some paper on the back. These are just some different miscellaneous things I had in my stash. Again, this is something out of one of my books, and I made a tag out of it. Put a little dangle on the top there with the bulb pen. Decorated it up a bit. This is out of some old ledger sheets that I scanned in. And again, this, I can't remember, I believe it's, I can't remember the name of the shop, but I'm pretty sure it's hers. I'll look it up and put it in my description at the bottom. I'm sorry, I just don't want to misquote. Again, I made a little snippet down here, or a little collage, excuse me, with some miscellaneous things. Put some of the linen string I just got on there. I really like that. Again, another collage I did on the edge of a page. And this is, I just took it and folded it long ways in half instead of the other way, which I normally do. And put one of the envelopes on here, and I'm not going to take it off. It's just one of the envelopes that comes with the kit. Now this is something that I have never done before, and I'm sure other people have done it, but it just came to me to do this. I made a little journaling book, which is I sewed into this signature. And this is some pages that I have out of a little notebook that I had gotten online, and it was a perfect size for this little journal. So it worked out really good. And all the tabs over my porch prints among the wildflowers. Again, same kit. Again, I made a little pocket down here and have a little tuck place there. I used a piece of one of my vintage pearls, champagne colored vintage pearls on there. This is some of my hand-dyed chiffon, and I used a little bit of fabric underneath the eyelet there. That comes from Carol with Oak House Journal. That's her little idea. I love that idea. Thank you, Carol. And here's another little tuck I just made on the edge of the page. And I believe this is also my porch prints, but it's from a different kit. I think it's Grandma's house or Grandma's something or other. This is out of my stash, and it was a little thank you card, and I like the way it looks, so I used that for a pocket. This is from chapter 1, a background page, and then I just found some different little pieces of butterflies, etc. Fussy cut them out and put them on there. Again, using the little fabric underneath the eyelet. And this is a collage page edge that I made using just miscellaneous pieces of paper and cut out. Again, the beautiful papers from my porch prints. I think that's an Artie Mays, but I'm not sure, tab that I just folded in half. Okay, that's the first signature. Here's the second. This is one of Tim Holt's, what do you call it? Tim Holt's cards, family cards, or whatever you call it, relatives. And put that on there and made a little belly band. Here's another little belly band I made out of some hand crocheted vintage lace I had. and just some miscellaneous collaging up there on some of my coffee dyed paper. This is the envelope I made and lined and made a little pocket with a little journaling card in there out of some old book pages and some other miscellaneous pages out of a book. And it just fits in there, back in there like so. And then that tucks in like so. Okay, here's a collage I did down here. I made a double pocket and made a little collage at the top of the card there. And then this one is another collage, another card that I had in my stash. I think this is Mrs. Cog's Butterflies, but I'm not sure. This is a collage that I did on my Adobe Photoshop, playing around with some Graphic Fairy images, and just collaged it all together on the Photoshop, which I've been practicing doing. I really enjoy doing that, but when I start doing it, I go down a rabbit hole, and I may be there for days doing it. So anyhow, this is a card, a 5x7 card. Well, actually, it's craft paper that I embossed, and then I just hit it lightly with some distress ink. I believe it was Vintage Photo, just to kind of bring out the relief in it. Made it into a pocket and put a journaling card inside, again out of some of my stash. I don't remember whose paper was, but anyhow, using that crocheted lace again. Put my little pin on there. This is out of one of my digitals. It's called Digital Curio. I think it's Digital Curios, but I'd have to look that up. I'll put that on the description. Anyhow, I thought she was just beautiful. She's a fairy, and she has a crown of butterflies with this beautiful red hair and her little fairy wings there at the back, and then she's got a really pretty crocheted purse there. And I thought she went perfect in this book. Again, just a little journaling card. Another journaling spot. I just did a little fussy cut there out of one of the books that I had. This again is one of my little digital stamps, faux stamps I made. And then I put one of the bulb pins on there with some of the Swarovski crystals. Tracy Fox labels. Again, fussy cut out of one of my books. Used one of Angela's doilies there as a background, and then I believe this is a Graphic Fairy, I believe it is. I stitched it all the way around. Again, this is from one of the, I think this is chapter 1. I think it's one of her tags. Anyhow, both of those kits, the My Porch Prints and the chapter 1, blends really beautifully together for this journal. Again, another one of the pieces of ephemera. This is actually cut out of My Porch Print, but it's out of her original Wildflower. I don't know if it's called Bouquet Wildflowers. Anyhow, it's her original Wildflower digital. And I just cut those out and put them on there. This is a little, I think I did a video on that one about doing that the other day. I don't remember. I think so. Anyhow, it has three little holes cut out, and so you can view parts of the tag, and I made it to where I could see the butterfly. And this is one of my little snippets I did for the tag top. And again, some pretty wallpaper, digital papers. And it just slips in there like so. I duplicated the butterfly down here. Journaling spot. This came off one of the museum sites that I picked that print up. This is Artie Mae's little calendar, digital. Another one of my embossing folders I did out of a CD case. with a journaling card inside and some vintage lace toppers with a vintage pearl on top. And then I just used some pretty digitals I had. I think that's papery. I think it's papery. I'm not sure, but I think it is right here. And this again is the paper that's folded just long ways in half. This is just a little journaling spot, which I did a collage on. Handmade paper. Again, my porch prints, just some pretty paper, digital. Another one of the embossing folders that I did using some distress inks, and I did a video on that, how I did that. I also topped it off with some, it's called Moon Glow, I believe it is, stamping pad, which is a real kind of a iridescent looking light colored stamp. Yeah. Put a little, what do you call those things? Rhinestones. This is a pocket. And some of the seam binding I dyed. And again, that's from Farm Mirage, the city scenes. And I made a little, just a point of interest there on the back, just to give it a little bit of something to look at. You flipped it over for journaling, and that sticks out on the side, which I thought I like that. Okay, this is a little Tim Holtz paper clip. I'll put that on there just to hold that straight. I did a collage here, and I wanted to put this tag in there, which this and this is the same paper. I love that paper. That's from chapter 1. One of the background papers is just beautiful. And of course the tag is chapter 1. And that I wanted to make sure that because that pocket is short and narrow, I want to make sure it didn't fall sideways. So that's what the little Tim Holtz, paper clip is for. Okay, some of my coffee dyed paper, a little envelope I made using some of my seam binding. Again, this is from Graphic Fairy, and I just embellished it a bit. I don't remember the name of the kit, but anyhow, it's really pretty. And I'll do that later. Another one of the pockets from Among the Wildflowers. This is a one of the vintage photos, and I don't know, I think this is Graphic Fairy, but I'm not sure. Again, I made a little Swarovski crystals with a little charm on there, just for something for the top, tag top. Again, the Farm Mirage with some snippets there and a button. Journaling card, like so. And this is from the My Porch Prints, I believe it's called Thistle Digital, and it just has numerous little pockets on there, and it's a staggered pocket. This is the third signature. This one here was fun. It was a long tag. I wanted to make this long tag, and I wanted to go through a belly band. And I don't like my tags to be tight in the belly band, so I was giving it plenty space, but in doing so, it was moving back and forth too much, and I didn't like it, so I put this little, this is a Tim Holtz flower cutout, or whatever you want to call it, but it holds it in there, and so I just glued it here on the edges, and I like the way that turned out. And so that's just a collage I did. This is some Graphic Fairy, I think they call it Blue Cloisonne, was their kit for the month. And again, that's some of the paper that I have, original paper, but I did a scan on it. That's not an original one. And just some other, using Tim Holtz stamps on there for the these two stamps from Field Notes. and collage I did at the top. It just goes in like so. This is out of one of my butterfly books, and I took one of the butterflies that was on the same page and put it down here so that again you could get the tying in of the butterfly cut out. Again, Tracy Fox. This is some handmade paper. I can't ever remember the name of that paper, but you know what I mean. Again, this is one of my little clips I made. That's a double-sided clip, and it has the paper clip in the middle and then a place to put your little ribbon on top, and I put one of the little pins with Swarovski crystals on there, and then that just clips over the top like so for decoration. Did the collage. There's another one of the little books I was talking about. Mulberry paper is what that's called, mulberry paper. There you go. My brain's not totally dead. This is a circle I made of one of the faux whale-tail punch out of. That's a little collage that I did, I believe. I don't remember for sure. Again, another little pocket, and I put the pocket this away so that it'd be a little bit different. And then inside is a little file folder that I made a place to put some little tags. It's all lined with old book page. It fits in there like so. And again, I used a little circle and just some little pieces of ephemera. A pocket I made out of one of the pages, and I don't know whose digital that is for sure, but I'll look it up. This fits in, it's just, I believe that's chapter 1, I think. Anyhow, it's just a pocket I made there, which then fits inside of this pocket. And that's, again, that's one of the embossed pieces of cardstock, craft cardstock, that I used the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide spray paints on and stitched all the way around it. Again, my porch prints. This is the last signature. This is a little card that I made a paper clip, embellished paper clip. And this is my paintings that I just put on the paper clip and put a little ribbon on there and used it for interest on the page. Like so. And I thought the colors were really pretty together, especially with that brown. This is deli paper. Again, I put the little bee on there. Handmade paper. This is the other side. This is the tab to a CD case. And it was just a small tab, and I wanted to do a collage on there to give it some interest, so this is what I came up with. When this goes inside, and it's the little lady, she's looking for her man. There he stands in the corner. She can't find him. You see that? Anyhow, I put these different little elements on here to give it some interest. And that on the back, that's a graphic fairy, I'm pretty sure. Again, I'm not going to take that off, but that's another paper clip I did with just for page decoration, excuse me. It's one of my tea-dyed papers, using a stencil to give it some interest when I tea-dyed it. This is from the Thistle kit, my porch prints, with just some miscellaneous little elements in there. Also put that on there to put another little tuck spot right there. Some of the handmade paper. Chapter 1, this is just, I made it into 2 pockets by just laying it a page sideways and gluing it down on 2 sides. This is some of the journaling cards, and it just gives you I just have some, I don't know, I printed on the back, or I put the hand stained paper on the back. I don't remember which one it was. Again, journaling card using one of the clock faces of the thistle kit, which goes so well with all the rest of this paper I've been using. Thistle kit and my porch prints. Again, this is a little collage I did using butterflies and stitching it all together, and using some of my tea-dyed fabric, broadcloth fabric on there. A couple of little journaling cards. Again, this is from Stamperia, I believe, but it goes good in with this collection. And a little bird I had, a little blue bird, and I did a collage down there. And this is the other side of the CD case, which I then lined with different papers. Some of chapter 1 with the little snippet I did on top. And then I used one of my little safety pins and put a little dragonfly charm on there for the other side. And it fits in there like so, and stitched all the way around it. And again, chapter 1. My porch prints, brown deli paper. This was some of the Tim Holtz Lost Relatives. And then I made a collaged tag here off of a piece of packaging I had. I think it was a Tim Holtz something or other. Anyhow, I just did a collage on both sides, snippets on the top. This I did a fussy cut out of one of my butterfly books. And anyhow, I thought it looked pretty with this blue flower I had already fussy cut and glued on there. This background is that blue cloisonne, I believe, from Graphic Fairy. And again, the very last page here, and I just used some of this pretty lace that I had. Okay, now this is the back side. This is some vintage hand crochet lace that I used around the edge. Put a pocket on here and made a little tuck spot here for the envelope. And then I sewed that on there and hand stitched this on. It says sweet. And then this has a little charm here with some Swarovski crystals at the top with a little pin, safety pin. Again, this was a tutorial that I saw on Roxy Creations. Rachel did it. She made the envelope, and so I like her style on how she made it. Not that I haven't seen something similar before, but it was her video that I watched. This was $1.49 in market paper I used for this, which is because it's real sturdy. Also, this is out of my porch prints. It's a fussy cut I cut out of one of the pages. It opens up like so. It has a little pocket on the side down here with a little a little tag I put on there, a label rather, and just some little tuck spots here. I believe that's a Mrs. Coggs butterflies. And again, this is my porch prints. I just lined it, made a little tuck spot down here for the envelope, which then goes in like so. And then I made a little another little pocket over here on the envelope, and put in some miscellaneous little digis I had for a journaling card, and another one over here. And then this little charm says friends, and It's a journaling card. I used a tea-dyed index card on the back with a bulb pen. And it's very sturdy and very strong because that paper at $1.49 in market is very heavy-duty paper. Okay, then that goes over like that, and then on the back, I wanted some more journaling spots, so I used one of the My Porch Pen Prints envelopes, and I hinged it at the top, and I did a little fuzzy cut flower here out of one of my flower books, and then this opens up like so, and there's some little miscellaneous papers there, which hinges up like that. And I believe that's about it. I really did enjoy working on this little album. I think I probably worked on it a bit too long, but yeah, that's how I do. I work on it till I'm sick of working on it, and then I'm thinking, I think you worked on it long enough. So, but I did enjoy it. And that's a dimensional butterfly there. I forgot to say, and that other butterfly in there I cut is a dimensional butterfly as well. So that this kind of holds it all in there together. And so that's my little, you could call it little, that's my album or journal, and it hooks over here real easily. I like this little closure. I'll have to use that again. That was worked out as a real functional closure, especially if you've got if it's a soft cover. It really does hold it all nice and straight. Okay, I've rattled on long enough. I hope you enjoyed my flip through. I will be putting this probably on my Etsy shop shortly, if anybody might be interested in going over and checking it out. So until then, this is Barbie. Hoping, saying bye bye bye, and I hope you're having a beautiful day and that you're enjoying your craft room and just crafting away. So until next time, we'll see ya. Bye.